Watch it, Greg. But there.
This was supposed to be a work where he was pushed a little, but I wanted him to get something out of it, and the next work will be easy, like a 49 or 50, where this one was supposed to be somewhere around 47 and change, because he could do that quite comfortably. And Greta's worked him every work since he's 2, and she's what I told her to do was just make sure he's happy.
Yeah. What'd she say after the work? Did you have a chance to talk to her yet?
She said that she thought he was sitting very, very good, and that we're going to have a good day on Breeders' Cup Day.
Well, you like hearing that. It's like the equivalent of Tammy Fox's 2 thumbs up after work.
Yeah,
it sounds like
the equivalent of that.
Yeah. Talk about his last race in the Phoenix, when he was rallying 4th.
I was a little disappointed with the race, but I wasn't disappointed with him. I thought a lot of his races this year have been where if the pace is good enough, he can come get them. And but we are, being a closing sprinter, we are always concerned of pace scenarios. And I thought that with how the track was playing that weekend, especially I think the first 38 races were all won on the front end. It was just kind of an odd deal, but my horse come back happy, and I know that if the right scenario comes up, he can beat those kind with ease. If a wrong scenario comes up, he can be a victim of a pace.
Did you find yourself the last part of the Keeneland meet then watching all the sprint races and seeing how it end? Did it change?
It changed up big time, but that's the thing. It's hard to win at Keeneland. We've been lucky enough to win a Phoenix and been second in it and third. I mean, it's a tough race, and there's some good horses in it all the time. So you got to be ready for anything.
This will be round 4 for him with the Breeders' Cup Sprint, and how is Whitmore 4.0 versus 1, 2, and 3.0?
I think he's good. It's it's always about who is he running against, and he's pretty much the same. When we were running against Roy H., we were running against a 2-time winner and the world's fastest horse at the time, and he ran his eyeballs out. And then we come back, we run against My Tolly, the world's fastest horse, and he definitely, in my mind, was one of the best we'd seen in a while. And so it's almost like, what are the caliber of the horses we're going to be chasing that day, and are there a couple, 3 of the good ones can go up there and go fast enough for us to come get them?
He's a gelding, obviously, so there's not like some of these horses around here, this is their swan song. With him, I guess, as long as he's healthy and happy,
Yeah.
you let him have a day job.
Yeah, with him, he gets to write his own book. If he comes up and he says he wants to go out and run and play and have fun, then I'm going to let him. And if he ever acts like he's not interested or shows a sign of wear and tear, then he'll get to go and live happily ever after. He owes us nothing, so we want only what he wants.
Yeah, so is there any difference with him at age 7, though, that versus maybe, say, when he was 5? Because he'd have a license. Is there anything, like you're talking about, he's pretty much beholden to the pace. Maybe more so now, or no? He's always been a combined sprinter since you've been sprinting him.
Yeah, I actually thought he was getting a little more versatile this year. So it wasn't like we was just, upside down if they went too slow. I mean, I think we did run second in the Vanderbilt, and that's the slowest first quarter for a grade 1 I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he still made up ground and run a really good race. So I mean, he's just a cool dude. He's very consistent, and I'm expecting good things out of him. Knock wood, we're going to try to get there happy and healthy, and we always got a lot of pressure when Whitmore runs because a lot of people love him and follow him, and we're kind of into that. So we want to put on a good show, and we want it more for Whitmore than we do for anyone.
Well, the sprint is one that almost senior citizens horses have done very well and won before. I'm thinking of like Cardmania, and I think there's been several that it just seems like with these sprinters they can stay good for a long time.
Yeah, there is no correct recipe for a sprint winner. It's like I've seen 3-year-olds win it, I've seen 8-year-olds win it, and I've seen Kona Gold and those guys. So I think the reason you get to see certain horses is because they come from off the pace, and they're not as fatigued at the end of the race where a lot of injuries can occur. So that's why we get to watch Chindy be a pony out here, is because he was a closing sprinter, and now he's 25 or however old,
yeah.
and he still gets to live every day at the track and be a pony, is because he's a closing sprinter instead of a front runner.
Yeah, you talk about a horse who stayed good for a long time. We're talking about 2.5 decades with Chindy, because he is a great pony too.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. Now you might also run Up Striker, who's an Ellis Park 2-year-old winner that was 4th in the Breeders' Futurity. Tomorrow's pre-entry. So what are you doing with him?
I'm going to talk to the partners on him. He's doing very well, and I think it's just we're in a COVID year, and it's a lot of weird things where you could avoid certain races trying to avoid the big dogs and be in a tougher race just because maybe all the big dogs aren't pronounced yet. They're not out. So he worked wonderful. We're going to get him out and make sure he's happy later, and then I'm going to talk to the partners and see, do you want to go to New York and run there? Do you want to run in the Keeneland race with the Breeders' Cup? Do you want to run an undercard? That's what's good, is we've got a lot of options, so we're going to do what's best for our chances for the clients.